The thing about chasing your dreams, sometimes you reach a point where you've been trying long enough that quitting starts to feel like a relief from all the failure and the pain. And that's where the danger is, because your mind will start giving you very logical reasons why you should give up. You've tried long enough, you've sacrificed enough, and you're still stuck in the same place that you were a year ago. Meanwhile, other people seem to be moving faster with half the effort. They started after you and they're already ahead. And you're supposed to just keep going when nothing in your life seems to be working. No breakthrough, no relief. But don't allow your mind to lie to you, because it'll give you all the reasons why you should give up. There's a specific moment when giving up seems like it would make sense. You've tried everything, you've worked harder than anyone around you, you've sacrificed things that you'll never get back, but you still seem to be stuck. But other people are succeeding with half the effort. They started after you and they're already ahead. And you're supposed to just keep going when it's obvious that nothing in your life seems to be working out for you. You can't seem to catch a break no matter what you do. So you start having thoughts and asking yourself, if I give up now, at least I'll stop wasting time. At least I'll stop disappointing people and feeling like a failure. And for you, that thought feels calming. And that's why it's so dangerous. But here's something that sounds different. The part of you that want to quit isn't wrong. That's normal, because your mind is wired for survival. And survival means avoiding pain, right? And staying safe. So when you're pushing yourself into an uncomfortable situation where outcomes aren't guaranteed and you're doing things that feel risky or uncertain, your mind is going to sound the alarm. It's going to tell you to stop because it's doing its job, which is to keep you safe. But the only problem is that your mind can't tell the difference between real danger and growth discomfort. To your brain, stepping into the unknown feels the same as stepping off of a cliff. So it's going to produce all these thoughts and feelings designed to make you go back to what's familiar and safe. This is all designed to get you back to what's familiar. But that's just your survival mechanism doing its job. It's doing what it's designed to do. Just recognize it for what it is and keep moving anyway. Just imagine that you're climbing a mountain, right? And your legs are burning and your body is telling you that it's time to stop because it's uncomfortable. It means that you're asking yourself to do something you're not used to doing. But discomfort doesn't mean that you can't keep going. It means that you're asking yourself to do something that you're just not used to doing. And that's exactly what growth feels like. But here's something important to notice. The urge to quit usually doesn't show up in the beginning, right? It shows up after you invested the time, the energy, and the sacrifices. After you stay consistent, after you stay consistent longer than most people would have ever. Think about it. When are you most tempted to quit? It's not usually in the beginning when everything is new and exciting, right? It's usually after you've been at it for a while, after you invested time and energy, and you're not seeing any of the results that you expected to see. You've already tried multiple approaches and nothing seems to be working out like you thought it would. And that's what creates the doubt. And in those moments, you're at the edge of a breakthrough. You've been putting in the work, you've been building the skills, making the adjustments, and just learning lessons. And all of that is an accumulation, even if you can't see it yet. It's like filling up a bucket of water, one drop at a time. And for a long time, it looks like nothing is happening. But eventually, it reaches the top and it overflows. It was the results of every drop that came before it, though. So when you're at that point where you feel like quitting, you're probably closer to the overflow than what you think, because you've been filling this bucket the whole time. You just can't see how full it is yet. And if you quit now, you'll never know how close you were. I've seen this happen over and over again. People grind for months, years, they get frustrated and quit. And then 6 months later, they watch someone else succeed in the exact same space later. And then they're left thinking that that could have been them. And it could have been, but they left right before the shift happened. I knew someone who quit on their dreams a few years ago. He was trying to build a business for nearly 5 years already. No money, just stress, debt, and people asking when he was going to give up and just get a job. So eventually he did. He gave up, got a job, paid off his debt, and stabilized his life. And from the outside, it looked like it could be the right decision. But years later, I spoke to him again. He told me he wasn't mad that he failed. He's upset that he'll never know what would have happened if he had stuck with it just a little while longer. And that question still follows him. What if I quit right before it was about to work? That was his question. But that's the cost of giving up early. So if you're questioning everything right now, that feeling doesn't mean that you're on the wrong path. it might actually be a sign that you're closer to a breakthrough. But the question is, are you going to stay long enough to see it through? Let me ask you something. What if everything that's happening right now is exactly what you need to happen in order for you to become who you are meant to be? What if the delays aren't setbacks, but they're redirection? What if the closed doors aren't rejections? What if the struggles aren't obstacles? But what if you're not behind, but you're exactly on time for your specific journey? A lot of people operate like they're supposed to be somewhere else by now, like there's some type of timeline they should be on that they're falling behind on. But who decided that timeline? Who said that you were supposed to have everything figured out by now, or by a certain age or milestone, or by a certain date? That's all made up. That's just comparison. Your path is your path. And everything you do and everything you've experienced, the good, the bad, the wins, the losses, the progress and the setbacks, all of it is just shaping you into a person that can handle what's coming. Nothing is wasted and nothing is for nothing. It's all part of the process. So instead of resisting where you are, what if you just accepted it? Find out what you can learn being where you are today. What can you build and how can you grow? Stop wasting energy just wishing things were different and start using that energy to move forward. And doing this will stop you from living in the gap between where you are and where you think you should be. And if you start living fully where you actually are right now, you'll begin to see that shift because you're not blocked by resistance. You're in the flow of what's right now. And that flow, it moves faster than force. So listen, giving up on a specific goal or business is not the worst thing. It's not the worst thing that could happen. Sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay. Sometimes you need to pivot, change directions, or try something different. That's adjustment. But giving up on yourself is different. That's walking away from your potential and deciding that you're not worth the effort. That's also settling for a smaller version of your life because your bigger version feels too hard. Here's the thing, you're going to be uncomfortable either way. You're either going to be uncomfortable. You're either going to be uncomfortable growing and pushing yourself to become more, or you're just going to be uncomfortable staying stuck in that life, that same life that you don't want. So either way, there's going to be discomfort. So you might as well choose the discomfort that's leading you somewhere. You didn't have that vision for no reason. You didn't get called toward more just to quit when it got hard, because you know that you're capable of more than what you've seen so far. You're here because a part of you knows that you're capable of more, but you'll never know what you could have been if you quit. So once again, don't give up on yourself. Adjust if you need to, rest if you need to, but don't quit on yourself because your best investment is you. But if you're not just thinking about quitting a dream, but quitting on life itself, please get the necessary help. This video isn't enough and you don't have to do this alone. The pain is temporary, even if it doesn't feel like it. Don't make a permanent decision from a temporary low point. You're not done. You're just in a hard part of the story. And every good story has its moment. And if you needed to hear this today, drop a comment. If someone you know is struggling, send this to them. And just know that you're closer than what you think. So don't stop now. And thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.